Do these women's clothes look offensive? That question lies at the heart of this proposed law in France, now about to be debated in the country's parliament. Under the legislation, women refusing to take the niqab off will be fined nearly $200 and may even be forced to take classes in how to be a good citizen. Even more provocative is a separate offence of inciting to hide the face, in which anyone convicted of making a woman wear the veil could go to prison. The very word incitement carries a suggestion of threat. Backers of the law say the niqab makes them feel victimised.
When you walk down the street, I want to see your face, and if you refuse to let me see your face, then I am the victim, because I don't know who you are, because you put yourself in a ghetto, and you're excluding me from friendly interaction.
It's thought that fewer than 2,000 Muslims in France out of 5 million wear the veil. Many point out that in countries like Morocco, tourists often wear distinctly un-Islamic clothes but are freely tolerated. Why can't France do the same?
We respect the Europeans when they come to visit our countries, especially Morocco, and the way they dress. They have to respect the way we dress.
They say France is a secular state, so you should allow people to practice their religion.
Given the comparatively small number of women in France who would be affected by this, some suggest the law is primarily motivated to appease a conservative majority. Others suggest incitement to wear the veil would be impossible to prove in court anyway, and could breach human rights law.
Only a week ago, the Parliamentary Assembly of all the EU countries unanimously pronounced themselves against the law of prohibition, so this law contradicts the EU Human Rights Convention.
All the same, France is now set to follow the path of other European countries which are trying to outlaw the niqab. Belgium says this piece of clothing could be a threat to public order.
I really think that this sort of fascist ideology, which is now being entertained in Europe, is very dangerous for the whole concept of our democracy and our fabric of our social structures.
The campaign against the veil has now brought together an unlikely alliance of conservatives and women's rights groups in France. They all argue that it's demeaning. It seems unlikely that criticising Muslims for some expressions of Islam will help heal what is now a gulf in understanding. Laurence, Al Jazeera.